Hi there, Prairie Plant Girl here. So it's time. I need to update my look at my front door here. When the snow came right at the end of October, it piled up pretty good, and I just quickly switched out my autumn decorations for a few winter things, and I haven't really made it look nice out here. So I'll show you quick what I have, and then what I'm going to try and do to make it look a little bit better. There's a look at the snow. Usually when we get snow like this, that time of year it doesn't last, but it's piled up pretty good there. It's not going anywhere. So this is this is what I have. It's pretty sad. I bought some greenery. I haven't been out to the farm yet to get more, but I want to at least get this pot done today, and then hopefully I'll get the other one done. I'm gonna clean this mess up a little bit more and get some more decorations out here. But it's really windy out today, so I think I'm gonna pull the pot into the garage to work on, and then we'll get set up in there and I'll show you what I have to make this. Okay, so I've brought everything out here to the garage. Not the prettiest location, but it's out of the wind, so hopefully you can hear me and I don't have things blowing around and that. Usually that area out front is a sheltered spot, but this morning it seemed to be not so much. So I brought this pot in. It's not this tall. I have it lifted up about 8 inches or so. And I think I'm actually going to work on the bigger pot just because, like I said, I think I'm going to switch it over to be kind of the main pot by the doorbell and where the door handle is and that. So kind of be that main pot. And then if I have enough stuff, I'll work on the other one. But I haven't. I went and purchased some beautiful greenery at my local garden center. And I'm mostly focused on getting some like spruce or pine, the long needle. I think that's spruce, and then cedar. And then there's a little bit of Douglas fir back in here. But I know I can get the Douglas fir out at the farm, so I didn't worry about getting too much of that. And then actually, the Douglas fir came in a package with some of this beautiful, I would say this is probably some curly willow or something. And I bought a couple new berry picks. They're just artificial. And then I have some older ones. They're looking a little ragged, but kind of work them around the back if I need a bit more color. And I have some red dogwood twigs that I'd cut out of my yard last year, I think. I hooked them on my table here. So I just saved those. And then I have some picks with ribbons on them. I have a little reindeer welcome sign. And I have a bucket of pine cones, some like Christmas tree ball ornaments. These light up and I think they look really pretty. They're like a snowball to me when they're all lit up, all sparkly. I have some kind of artificial cranberries I can sprinkle around in there, some gloves, and some clippers. Okay, so the first thing I need to do is take these twigs and this decoration out of this pot. These twigs are just cut off my forsythia out front. I put some warm water in here earlier, so hopefully the soil is thawed out enough that I can get this stuff pulled out. Get this big guy out of the way. Just thawed enough, I think. I may reuse too. I didn't realize the decorative bundle actually has some juniper in it too. So that's good. The more variation in texture and color that you can get, the prettier it's going to look. So let me just show you this. So hopefully you can see the difference there. So this is the juniper, I believe, and then that's the cedar. I think I have those the right way. So I hopefully you can see that, the difference in the texture and the tone a little bit. And then see if I can get a little piece get a little bit of this spruce or pine, whatever it is there. Oh, look at the moss on this. Won't matter, but look at that. Won't show up in our thing, but isn't that pretty? So you get those different, all those different textures in there. And you just layer them in there. And it just makes a difference. Whereas if it's all just one thing or the other, it just doesn't have that same effect. So more different kinds of green. Even if you don't have a lot of greenery, if you have a variety of greenery, I always think that looks nicer, in my opinion. And I like the the drapiness of these. Like I said, I don't have much fur, so I think I'll go with this. It's kind of my bottom layer plants here. I think because of where this is going, I'm actually going to take a couple of these lower branches off. Give me a good stem to get in the ground. You can use those later. And I'm going to try and make kind of some height around the back, I think, and then more flowy at the front. And I think that'll work nicely there. Okay, now it never looks like much until you kind of get going with this and really start layering it in. But I think this will be nice. I feel like I'm going to take some of this height off of here. I don't want this to get too tall, so I can just go and kind of cut at an angle. Oh, these textures weren't the best. And it'll still blend in and fill in, and it won't look like I just chopped a piece off. And again, like this is going to be by my door. I want people to be able to get in, so we'll do that. And I think this I always find I kind of fuss with them more at the beginning and then kind of find my groove with it. You just gotta kind of figure out what the best beginning is. It's just a little bit frozen in this corner still. There, I like that upright look better. I think that looks better like that with them a little bit more upright. And then, like I said, they'll come around and I'll kind of bring them out swooping forward as we come around. So I'm just going to keep building on that. I just kind of laid the juniper on top so I can get that kind of drapiness with it. The way that stem was, it wouldn't poke in and give me that, but I think once I get the other twigs and things in there, that'll still stay in place even in the wind. So I think it gives me that texture and the drapiness that I want. I always think that fir gives just so much structure to these arrangements. I think it's really needed to just give that extra oomph. In our climate, sometimes the cedars and the junipers will kind of brown out on you. It's just because it's just so cold. You get the evaporation loss. I've never tried to use a wilt stop on it or anything, but I think it's just part of it. It's just we'll get like -35, -40, and then we might even, especially here, be up above freezing, or have around that freezing mark. And those fluctuations and the extreme cold are just too much for some of these. But usually I can get a few months out of the whole arrangement, a month for sure usually, and then if anything starts to brown, I can just kind of cut it out a little bit after. Let's stick these guys in there before there's no room. And then I think we'll just go in with some shorter pieces to kind of build up some height in here, and keep adding some decorations and we'll be good. There, I think that's pretty good for the basic greenery and a couple of twigs. And now we'll try and, get that pop of color with some of these extra decorations and some of the glow with the lights. And I think up at that front door space, this is going to be big enough. I'll have to get this under control so it's not in people's faces. And I think that'll look really nice. So let's see if we can get some color. These to cooperate. So we'll get some color popped in here. Okay, so I think I want to get a ribbon in here first. I'm just thinking where it's going to be by the door. I think we'll just put it right in the middle. Fluff these out. Okay, and then I've grabbed these red branches and these berries. Like I said, these ones are older. So they're a little bit more worn, but I think kind of tucked in the back, they're still okay to use. There's some of these dogwood branches. I'll try and do one out this way. And then a couple of these nicer, newer picks. These have been laying out like that. Still not sure about this guy here, he might come out, but the rest is looking good. I'll just pop 3 of those ball lights in there, and I think that'll just give it what it needs. So these can be a little tricky to get stuck in here and get all the cords hidden. It looks kind of awkward. I'll just kind of throw them in there for a minute, and then I'll kind of fuss with things to get those cords and stuff out of the way. Sorry, I don't know if you could see that, but I really needed to be in front there to get those set in there. Now this. Just to kind of sneak through. I should be able to get that to power now. Now I can just come with some of the little pieces that I broke off of the evergreens and just kind of tuck those in, and it'll hide the cords for us. Okay, so I think that does it, and I'm really happy with this pot. I think the key things that you want to think about when building something like this is, you need a variety of greenery, different textures, a little bit of different color. Now, I mean, it's all green, but there's just like, this has just it's a brighter kind of almost yellowy tone to it. The juniper, which I can't see any right offhand right now, but it just has like almost like a bronze tone on the edges of the leaves or needles, I guess. And then the Douglas fir has like kind of a blue green on it, so it gives just a little bit of different color. And then you have this, like, again, don't know if it's pine or spruce, but it just has that really almost feathery, ferny. It gives some movement. So there's lots of texture with the fir. Get that movement with the spruce. And then you get just lots of filler with different color and texture with the cedar and the juniper. So it's a really nice thing to have. You don't have to have it, but it will just bring your pot up, I think, to that next little bit of a level. Then any kind of colorful twigs, I think, always look nice, or If you have the, like, nice thick branches with like peeling bark, that can look really nice. And then just color. I've used some fake berry picks. I don't have a lot of berries to choose from out in my area here. I really need to work on trying to get some shrubs with berries on them planted here, or like, decorative crab apples, something like that. Some branches off of that would look nice in here. Ribbon, decorations, anything to just bring a little bit of color is always nice, in my opinion. You need something sturdy in the base of your pot. This all gets very heavy. So if you're using a taller pot, especially, you want to make sure you have some weight in the bottom of the pot. Mine is full of soil. That works great because you can push the twigs into it. If you're in a climate like me, you want to make sure that the soil has been thawed out, so that you can get the twigs into it. Mine was kind of borderline, but luckily I moved inside, so it thawed as I was working here a little bit. And if you're working with soil and you're in a very cold climate, a great trick to do is, once you get everything in there, water it. The plants don't really use a lot of the water. They might, if you've cut some of the branches, they might draw a little bit up. But once it freezes outside, it's going to really help hold everything in place. So I think that's the main things. The more sheltered place you can give it, I know in a dry climate or a cold climate like I'm in, will really help to maintain the color on the needles. So that's a good thing to do too. And other than that, you just need to get it put together and get it in place and then enjoy it. And there's not a lot to do. Like I said, if things start to brown off, I'll just go through with some shears and just clip out what's not looking so great anymore. And usually I can kind of fluff it around and make it last through most of the winter, if not all of the winter, depending on what our winter is like that year. So I'm going to work on the other pot and try and get everything placed, and I'll try and get you a shot of everything outside where it belongs and not in this dirty old garage. But thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time. Bye.